welcome back to my channel. It's me again. Guys, I'm so excited about today's video. I want to say thank you to one of my subscribers, HLover71. This is such an exciting video because HLover71 agreed for me to share her story of her journey. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to share her story of her Hermes journey, and then I'm going to react to certain elements of her journey, and then of course would love to hear from you. I think she's watching, so hopefully she'll jump into the comments as well. So I just want to say a massive thank you to her because I know it's hard for people to share their Hermes journeys, just because it's quite, I don't know, I feel like Hermes is almost taking on this kind of mythical kind of, you know, status at this point, so it can be hard to talk about the brand. So really excited. So yeah, here we go. So we're starting off her journey. It starts off in the 2009 until 2010. She starts her journey off in Antwerp in Belgium, in the boutique there. I'll put up her comments so you can also read it at the same time. I'll just paraphrase. And yeah, so basically she goes there, she buys a belt, and after that, some perfume. She says here, before that, I always wanted to visit the boutique with my husband whenever I was in Belgium to admire all the beautiful things that they had, and also to get some more information about the Birkin without having the intention to buy one anytime, and so on. Now let's fast forward on to the 2010 period to 2013. The website is launched. Okay, that was news to me, babe. Thanks for letting me know. She purchased a few belt straps. So she goes to the boutique, she orders the Kelly that she wants, no purchase history needed, and this is around that time, you know, everything's great. She gets her first QUOTA bag. Now, let's move on here. She talks about how she wanted a great bag. I also had the chance to order the same bag with the same specs in Antwerp within a few weeks after my visit in Maastricht. With no problem at all. Back in the day, spending/purchase history was not relevant. The first special order, which was from Maastricht, was placed in June 2013. The second special order from Antwerp was placed in July 2013. She goes on here to talk about like how it was like obviously for the special order and the delivery times. I want to just interject for a second here and say that I think it's important for us to all note, and this is really important, as Hermes, I think, was kind of, I think spending history, purchase history, I think has become a really hot topic right now because of social media, because there are just so many more clients who want to purchase these QUOTA bags. That's not to say that when she was purchasing, it wasn't coveted. Of course, it was a very coveted item, but obviously, you know, spending and purchase history, it just wasn't this like huge thing. Do you know what I mean? It wasn't like a massive thing at all, and now it's just become this massive thing. It's like this leviathan that we're all trying, you know, to tackle. But at this time, when she had scored her her Kelly and then her two special orders, you know, she, you know, put them through, no problem at all. So yeah, everything was going great. You know, it's happy days. Now, she talks about how she has an issue with the special order, and then in November she receives a call that her Kelly was ready for pickup, and then she talks about how her special order as well, I think in Antwerp, like there was an issue and then she cancelled that one. Okay, fine. This is really interesting here. She goes on to say, in this period, she didn't buy anything from the boutique and just enjoyed her Kelly. In the third quarter of 2015, she reached out to the Maastricht boutique and she was told that the boutique was closing down and that everyone should go to the Amsterdam store in this place called PC Hoefstraat. I believe this is the very famous boutique in Amsterdam that's got this beautiful storefront. And this boutique, like the Google reviews are absolutely brutal. Like, no one is scoring a bag in here, honey, okay? If you can't speak Dutch. So this is the very competitive one. So summer 2016, I made one visit to the Amsterdam boutique and I bought a Kelly wallet. I never sat foot there again because for some reason the overall vibe wasn't really pleasant. Again, this just gels with so many things that I have heard about the Amsterdam store. I've heard people talking about this Amsterdam boutique in Facebook groups, in those Google reviews. People are going in because the boutique is, you know, said to not be friendly. Okay, then she says, the SA who helped us was a lovely lady and assisted us where she could, but still. Soon after that experience, I made contacts with people of another boutique in Amsterdam. My very first visit here was in summer 2019, and I felt welcome immediately. Okay. And she was offered champagne. She had a long, pleasant experience there, and now this is the current essay that she has. The same essay told her that tourists, especially from Asia, will come to the boutique and ask if they can get a QUOTA bag. Can I get a bag? Can I get a Kelly? And then they'll get the answer that it doesn't work like that. Guys, listen to H Lover 71, okay? I have said this as well. And sometimes you guys are like, well, how come this person walked in and was offered a bag? Okay, honey, let's be clear. No one is being offered a QUOTA bag in Amsterdam if they are not locals or if they're not Dutch. That is the bottom line. So yeah, it all depends on the country where the boutique is located. I've always said this as well. I was told by the other Hermes Amsterdam, this is the PC Hoofdstraat one, that they only want local customers, and they shared this with my essay, who wasn't amused to hear this. I'm not amused, honey, either, okay? I am not a fan. Now let's fast forward a little bit here. In the third quarter of 2019, she buys a Lizard KDT, and she also buys 2 Avalon bath towels and washcloths. In the meantime, I asked my essay to reserve a mini Lindy for me, but due to C19 and lockdowns, deliveries were scarce, and some ordered items were never received by the boutiques. Okay, that's fair enough. Fair play. Now, in 2021, in the first quarter, her purchases were a cardigan, ready to wear, please, say it with me, RTW, say it, okay? And a twilly, and during this order, I inquired again for the mini Lindy, and I was told, well, maybe I have something really nice for you. Oh, this is so nice. And then the next day, her phone rings. She was invited to place an a la carte order for her Birkin, because during the first visit, I asked if they would get a Birkin in my all-time favorite color, but unfortunately it wasn't on their list. So when the new special order color scheme was available, my color was on the list. They remembered what I asked back then, and they gave her the opportunity to order. That's amazing. I'm so glad that she's getting good customer service. This happened in May 2021, and then she purchased in the third quarter, she buys a Lizard Santorini and Aloha sandals. Okay. A few weeks ago, before my birthday, I told my essay that I wanted a bag for special occasions to my humble collections, and that I had a KP, yeah, Kelly Pochette, love that, or a mini Kelly on my mind in one of the neutrals, black gold, a tube, or a poppy shade rose shocking, yes, honey, or a pastel color sakura broom, yes, honey, with gold hardware. The morning of my B-day, I woke up and saw a message on my phone saying, I wanted you to see this first thing. You woke up, and guess what? My essay got me a mini Kelly and sent me the unboxing video of this cutie with production date last week of August, fresh from the factory. Yes, that's what we love to hear, babe, okay? And then she says here, I'm really, really happy and I'm grateful for this essay who grants me everything I want or ask for without spending crazy amounts. I love it as well. Love to hear it. Okay. And then she says here something which I think is really interesting. She goes on to say, I surely don't like everything of Hermes, and I'm certainly not born with a silver spoon in my mouth. And like others too, I have to budget. Thank you for being true. And God bless you for that, because I think that's a really important thing you said there. I have multiple essays within the EU and Asia. I truly like them all, but as you guys know, in Asia, it's impossible to get what you want, and I've experienced this myself, even for simple items like twillies and perfume, etc. But when something is available and you're a loyal customer, the requested item will come your way, just like the mini Lindy that was offered to me by my essay. Okay, so that's her journey. Again, thank you so much, darling, for sharing your journey. So I think it's going to help a lot of people. I want to talk about a few things, okay? Because in my MS videos, I always get people who are like, well, I saw someone unbox, a gold Kelly, okay? They didn't spend a pound, penny, shilling, euro. I think the thing that's really important to note here is that I believe here she gets her first Kelly offer in the early 2010s. Like right now we're in 2021. In the early 2010s, the shenanigans aren't as intense, honey, okay? And yeah, she does well. But something else to note about H Lover 71, she's a loyal client of this brand. I think that Hermes care about loyalty. And I think they like that you have been shopping from the brand for a long period of time. And I think if we look at her story, she has a lot of scores under her belt. She got her first Kelly in the early 2000s, okay? And then she had 2 special orders, okay? QUOTA pieces. And then she also gets her mini Kelly. She asks for a mini Lindy and she gets a mini Kelly. I mean, just that alone, that is four huge scores, okay? I like that she said that she doesn't feel that she needs to buy two QUOTA bags a year. I love that. I love that she's only buying things that she's passionate about and things that she really really wants, and she doesn't feel the need to like, okay, I have to go buy this or buy that. But I do want to say, and I think this is important, I feel like if you're a loyal customer like her and you're patient, the offer is going to come. The boutiques that she mentioned, Antwerp and the Dutch stores, they are very competitive. Okay, we talk about competitive stores here all the time. They're very, very competitive. I remember reading a comment from one of you guys. I think it was like on a community post. I think it was concerning. I think it's the boutique in Brussels and how it's like, you know, I think someone's boyfriend, like one of you guys was telling me that your boyfriend went in there, I think it was the Brussels store, and asked, and they were like, no, you know, like I think that people misunderstand that the European stores are very, very, very competitive and hard to score in. And I think the fact that she had like shopping, not necessarily like massive purchase history, but she was buying things. And if you look through her journey, she is buying things. She did buy, you know, the cardigan ready to wear. She bought the Avalon bath towels. She bought the KDT. Okay, she bought the sandals and the Santorini. I mean, and also she is, you know, buying exotics like lizard, the lizard KDT that she mentioned as well. So obviously that counts. And of course, like the ready to wear piece. So she's a loyal client, and I think that if you look at her purchases, it's obvious that she's a genuine, loyal Hermes customer, but she's not necessarily playing the game, and she doesn't need to. You know why? Because she's been in the trenches, okay, since 2009, and everything has happened organically. So I think if you're a fan of this brand, like genuinely, depending on where you are in the world, but I think definitely for those of you in Europe, I think that there's a lot to take from her journey. And now I want to tell you a few other things about her journey that I found really interesting. I think something else about her journey that we can all learn from, particularly those of you who live in a country with a boutique, is that sometimes being patient and being slow and steady wins the race. Because here when she says, I surely don't like everything. I'm necessarily born with a silver spoon in my mouth, and like others, I have to budget. And she doesn't have to spend crazy amounts. I like that she said that, because I think that's a very realistic view of a lot of people's Hermes journeys. And I like the fact that she was just slowly but surely buying things that she liked. She bought the belt, she buys a twilly, she buys a cardigan, but she's still buying those pieces that are important, but they're ones that she likes. Because at the end of the day, we know how much, for example, we all know how much the ready-to-wear business is like, it is something for Hermes, and it is something that, you know, is important to them. So the fact that she bought the cardigan, I know because I've spoken to her privately as well in the DM. She's a very genuine, thoughtful person, and she truly only buys things that she's passionate about, okay? But I also have to salute her because she's buying things that she likes, but she is buying those items that I think Hermes want to see those purchases in other categories to feel that you're not just a bag hunter. Do you know what I mean? I mean, we said it on the time, like all the time before on the channel, you're not just a Birkin bounty hunter who's just looking for a score. And I love that she said she doesn't feel the need to purchase like 2 QUOTA bags a year. I love that. And that is a true sign that she is a loyal client. So I just thought that this was just a fascinating journey. I wanted to share it with you. I'd love to hear from you guys, and I hope that you're watching. I hope you jump in the comments. But yeah, I don't know, I just love this. I love how realistic it is. And you know, like in luxury, I feel like there's a huge debate right now about whether you should be relatable or realistic. I prefer for people to be realistic and authentic to themselves as opposed to being relatable. I love this because I feel like this is a very true story, you know, and it's a very authentic and it's so genuine, and you can really tell that the way everything happened was so organic and it wasn't this like strategy. You know me, I have my strategies. I need to have strategies. I live in a country with no boutique, but still, I don't know, I love everything about this story. So don't lose hope, don't lose faith. I know some of you are in very competitive locations. She scored in very competitive locations. I think another theme of her journey is connecting with the essay. Connecting with the essay, but also showing that loyalty and show that it's not just about bags. I think we can see from H Lover 71, it's really not just about bags for her. She really likes a lot of the products that the brand makes. She doesn't necessarily like everything, but she does like a lot of stuff, and she only buys the things that she likes and that she's passionate about and excited about. And I feel like maybe that genuine excitement through her purchases is what shows the essay. Like, this is a client who is going to be with us, like whether we have, you know, quota bags or not, she's going to be here. So yeah, I just thought it was super interesting. And yeah, now let me tell you some Paris shenanigans. So the other day, Edwin and I went out to brunch, and it was hysterical because I was like, oh, I need to tell you about Hermes, and he was like, oh, Hermes, the French store. I'm like, no, it's not Hermes, it's Hermes. He's like, whatever, I don't care. So I told him about it before a while ago, but you know, we're gonna go to Paris, I think, in a few months. So you know, we were just talking about Paris, and we're like, you know, talking about what we're excited about, and I was like, okay, but like when we get there, we need to go to the Hermes store, and he's just like trolling me. He's like, the Hermes store, but you know, obviously it's Hermes. But anyway, so I was like, okay. He was like, tell me more about the appointment system. So I was telling him about the appointment system, and literally, he looked at me like I had a comb on my head. Okay, he looked at me like I was an alien from The Simpsons, and I, quite frankly, I felt like I was from another planet, explaining this ridiculous quota system, which is just so silly and so pointless. Okay. And then I was like telling him how many appointments. So I think like a few days ago, basically, it was like almost, I think now it's like almost 10,000 appointment requests per day. It's going to be even worse once November and December hit. And you know, so I was like telling him my strategy. Now, I'm going to share this strategy with you guys because I feel like I'm going to cancel this strategy, and it's not anything that my husband said or anything like that. I was thinking more about the strategy. I feel like it's going to fail. So my original strategy was this. Both of us try and get an appointment. Someone on Facebook said you should get the appointment before you get on the flight. Now, the flight from Dar es Salaam goes through Nairobi. So it's like, I think it's like Dar es Salaam, Nairobi, Charles de Gaulle, Paris airport. So someone was like, you should try and get the appointment when you're on the flight, which to me was hysterical, but like shocking in how serious people are. Anyway, so you know, we're like talking about it and stuff, and I'm just like, okay, so you'll get your own appointment and I'll get my appointment. He's like, why can't we just get one appointment and go together? I'm like, no, you should get your own one because you're a man. Well, hopefully. But obviously, it'd be so hard for both of us to get appointments. I've seen people on Facebook said that they've tried like 10 times and couldn't get one. So my strategy was this. Let's assume we both try and get an appointment. Let's assume one of us gets the appointment. Let's say I get the appointment, okay? I get to my appointment alone. Okay, and try my luck and see if I can score my, you know, dream Kellys, which would be a dream. And then he can go alone, again, because he's a man, could buy a shirt, buy a suit, buy something, whatever, and then ask for a bag. So I was like explaining this to him. He's like, hold on, wait, why can't I just like walk up in there, okay, and purchase a bag immediately? I'm like, no, you have to have the leather appointment and you don't have an appointment. So theoretically, I was like, even let's say he gets the appointment, that's even better because I feel like I would go there and try my luck and be like, hey, is there a cancellation? Or just try and buy something small and then wait. But the reaction on his face was just so priceless. Like, those of us who are into this like luxury good stuff, luxury shenanigans, you have to realize if you talk to people who don't like luxury, whether it's your spouse, whether it's your mom, honey, you will look like an alien from another galaxy, okay? And you will look barking mad because I was like, no, you have to like do it like this. And he's like, no, I don't want to go on an appointment on my own to buy a bag. I'm like, no, you will. He's like, okay, fine, I'll go for you. I was like, okay, thank you. You'll go for me. I appreciate it. But it was just so hysterical because then he was like, okay, well, which bags am I supposed to buy? So I had already planned in my head, if one of us gets the appointment, whichever one it was, I would basically try and get the exotics because I feel like I have a better chance of being offered an exotic like in the appointment because they're just such a niche product. And then he would go and ask for the mini Kelly and the shadow, because I feel like if a man goes to the appointment and asks for the mini Kelly, I feel like they'll just give the Mini Kelly. I've heard that the Mini Kelly is very, very hard to score in Paris if you don't even have a little purchase history. I've heard, like, whether it's like an exotic Mini Kelly or the chevre one, it's irrelevant. Apparently the Mini Kelly is not easy, it's not that easy to get in Paris. So because my dream was like, okay, he can get a Mini Kelly and the shadow, and I will try my luck and try and get a Kelly Bichette, or a Kelly 25, Kelly 28, Kelly 32. That would be like my dream scenario, but that would obviously require us to, like, you know, go to appointments alone. So I was talking to an Hermes friend in this group. She's one of my Hermes friends. I have a lot of you guys are my Hermes friends, and I was telling her my strategy, and she's like, "Oh my god, your strategy is everything." But she was like, "I feel like your passport would be very unique. Maybe they don't get a lot of people with like a passport from Tanzania." And I agree. I was not offended by her comment at all. And she's like, "Maybe they think that you're together anyway. So if you try and go, whoever goes first will probably get the offer, and then the person who goes second will be declined because the passports are so similar." And I was not offended by her comment. When I was doing my exchange in France, I met very few people from Tanzania and Kenya. I remember once hearing someone speak Swahili, and it was just like the most shocking thing ever. Tanzanians, we tend to not live in countries where English isn't the dominant language, so I wasn't offended by her comment at all. And I think that she made a really fair comment that the passport, you know, it might not be a passport that they see every single day. They might be used to seeing like passports from the Congo or Senegal or Cote d'Ivoire, like African countries that are francophone. They're probably used to seeing, like, you know, people who are traveling from those countries. So I completely agree with that. So and I wasn't offended at all. I just wanted to be clear, I'm not offended at all. And actually, in fact, when she told me that, I like told him, and he's like, "Oh my god, yeah, absolutely." They would think that, you know, we're in cahoots together, even if we went, you know, on separate days. And of course we are. So yeah, I just wanted to tell you guys about my strategy. I feel like I'm scrapping my strategy right now because I was really excited about it. I was like convinced that if he goes alone, I was convinced that he would be offered the Mini Kelly. So anyway, I will update you guys as and when. So I think we'll be going to Paris in a few months. So yeah, I will be clear, even if I don't get an appointment, I will come back here to report back. But I'm not going to let Hermes take over, you know, an incredible like Paris trip. We're super excited to go there. We were talking about all the places we're going to go. We're going to go to like La Madeleine. That's the church where I think Coco Chanel had her funeral mass. We're going to go to all these really cool places. And of course, the Cartier boutique, the Bulgari boutique, the Van Cleef & Arpels boutique. I'm going to go to all those places. So, and of course, Chanel at Avenue Montaigne. So I refuse to let Hermes like take over, but I do feel like it would be best like to just deal with the MS stuff at the beginning of the trip. Anywho, I just wanted to update you guys on my husband's reaction because it was hysterical. You should have seen his face. Like he's like, "Hold on, wait, so you have to beg to buy a bag?" And he's like, who works for who here? Because it feels like you're going to a job interview. Is he lying though? Is he lying? He's not. Thank you guys so much for watching, you guys. I'll see you tomorrow in my next video.